World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Good afternoon. This is Tony Rogers, your host for Urbanology, The Art of War. Hope all is well. Have a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Hope everyone is, taking advantage of this great weather. You know how things go. Sunny one day and may not be the next. But nevertheless, we're all blessed. If you're up and have the ability to see this particular show, you're blessed because a lot of people didn't make it this morning. So sometimes getting up is the most important thing that we often take for granted. I have an interesting show today, most basically focused on tourism. As many of you know, I serve as the president of the Harlem Tourism Board, along with my good friend Matt McCoy, who is the founder of Soul City TV, and one of my guests, Richard Cox, who is not only the vice president of the Harlem Tourism Board, but has a lot of footprints in this community. Last week, Richard invited me to a tourism board member home to Harlem to see a wonderful art show and to meet the curator who will Here we go. I thought how technology goes sometimes, but I thought that the program is very unique and interesting. So I wanted to let people have a better feeling of some of the positive happening here. So I'd like to introduce Richard Cox. Richard Cox. Richard Cox. I'm sorry about that, Richard. How are you doing?
No problem.
And the young man who I've been able to see a lot more of in the last couple of days, Jerome Downey. Hey, Jerome. How are
Hey
you?
guys, how's it going? Good afternoon.
Good. So again, as I was saying, Home to Harlem is a wonderful location located on Malcolm X, 122nd Street, and 246 Malcolm X Boulevard. It's a location Maria Granville, who um, actually many years ago created the first website for Harlem culture called Harlem Home to Harlem. And that was before most people knew what a website was. But she kept that site, and now it's the site for this wonderful location here. And not only is the art exhibit one of the largest African American collections per square foot in New York City, but it's also a location for many different types of events. One of the events, as I had mentioned,
Tony, your mic is in and out, I think.
okay, is that better? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, much better.
Okay, one of the things that impressed me about the event last week was what Jerome and the partnership between your organization and Richard for a special program for young people. So, can you guys talk a little bit about the gallery and the partnership between Team Unity and your organization? It's on you.
Richard, go ahead. You can set it off. Or you
I,
want me to go
I,
first?
I can start it off.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know how this goes.
Got to be careful when you
Yeah.
come to that.
I don't know what happened to Richard. So I guess I'll start it off then.
Yeah, that's his way of making sure that you do that, I
I
guess.
see that. So in lieu of the present situation, I'll begin to communicate about Richard and I's relationship as far as business is concerned. So Team Uni and I have made a connection, a partnership, where we're trying to raise $250,000 to fund a program here in the city for underprivileged youth to educate them on how to curate art, how to price art, and ultimately, if they're interested in learning about art and doing art, then that as well. So that's one of the things that him and I have decided that we can work on together here in La Space de Dave, 246 Lenox Avenue, which is the home to Harlem. So yeah, that's the relationship Richard and I have. With that being said, I mean, he comes through. He's very supportive. He comes at all our openings. We have an opening at the gallery every first Saturday of the month, and he shows up, and we just sit and we have good conversation, and we talk about what we're doing, how we're doing it, how people should and could support us.
And from my understanding, young people can come in on the first Saturday of the month to learn about.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the technology problems, but everything Jerome said is I can echo it. We looked at this project being a sustainable project for the Harlem community, and hopefully what we're doing there at 246 Lenox Avenue, will be a project that can be duplicated throughout the communities, and of course, citywide, statewide, and maybe even nationwide. But looking at the contributions that can come from this project is incredible. We're looking around to see how much further we can hire the bar for this already. So we're happy to team with Jerome and make this definitely a sustainable project looking forward. In terms of the youth, we're looking to have the youth come in into the space for a program starting in September. So we're going to do the youth September sometime today on the first Saturday, and then of course we'll have the older folks come in afterwards later on that evening.
Okay, and Jerome, give the name, right? Because I don't want to mess it up. What's the name of your organization? It's a French name.
L'Espace de Rêve.
And how did you come up with that name? I know Richard might have had an influence. He's a
No,
dope.
actually, I met Richard years later after I started this business.
Oh, okay. So there was a connection anyway, I'm sure.
I'll tell you about that in a second. But to answer your question, it's L'Espace de Rêve. L'Espace de Rêve. And how I came up with that name. So originally I was going to do so I always wanted to do something with Africa, because I felt that our people have been blacklisted for too long, and not allowed to express themselves through art, through culture, so on and so forth. They give us maybe 2 blocks, and sometimes there's good things, sometimes there's bad things, and they're keeping us in this little box. So my thoughts were we're going to do some international stuff, and I was going to represent people who are great at making like home decorum. With that being said, things evolved, and now we're doing home decorum, and we're doing art as well. Oh, we're doing more art than home decorum, but ultimately next year we're going to be doing the home decorum. Mm-hmm. And I came up with that name because a lot of the countries I frequent in Africa speak French. Mm-hmm. So if you ever notice my logo, it is the actual continent of Africa. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is my dream, honestly.
And you have a wonderful exhibit here. How long will the exhibit currently there? Is that until next August?
So yes, every month we change and we add new artwork and take down the old artwork. Sometimes we just switch out the artists. Sometimes we keep the artists and they bring in new artwork.
Now, do you have to call for reservations? What's the hours?
So you don't have to call for reservations. We are open daily. So our hours of operation are Wednesday through Saturday from 1 to 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, I am open from 12 to about 5:36.
Now, I know there are a number of other events that take place at Home to Harlem, baby showers and all the kinds of things like that. How does that interface with some of the things that you're doing, since you have an ongoing art?
So Home to Harlem actually has the level, it's called the garden level. And that's where Maria likes to have a lot of her events. She's allowed me access to the level in which I'm at now, on the first level of the building, mm-hmm. to be pretty much exclusively to art, mm-hmm. and bringing in my artists and curating the arts and things of that nature. She gave me that responsibility.
And how did you develop that relationship with Maria?
So aside from the fact that I know Richard with our business, he also introduced me to Maria maybe about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And from that introduction, we developed an understanding and, a family, an extended mm-hmm. family between Maria and myself, and our families. And that's how we developed. That's how I have that understanding and relationship with Maria at Home to Harlem.
Well, again, the artwork is wonderful. Could you give the email and the phone number for people who may want to find out about the youth program or just the artwork?
Sure, I'll let Richard. You can get the email, the contact information, if you will, to Team Unity if you like first, Richard.
Yeah, you can always find out more about this program and this project. You can always go to the Team Unity Incorporated website. That's teamunityinc.org. You can always get it from there. And you can also find us on social media. That's Team Unity Incorporated, either on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
And as it relates to registration with your September program, how are you doing that? How are you getting the individuals who will take part in that program, registered, or whatever the process is?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. I didn't hear your question. I guess one of us is outside in the wind somewhere.
Okay.
I hear a lot of blowing in the background.
You indicated that there was going to be a September program. Is there a registration process for those who would like to be involved in that program in September?
We haven't set up a formal registration program yet. Right now, we're doing it basically through word of mouth and invite only, but that's going to be forthcoming, an actual registration program, because we know that the expanse is going to happen. So we definitely have to cover something formal a little bit later on.
So,
Right now, we're really getting the investors involved, people who can actually spread the word, and then, move on to that next step.
so did you talk about what might happen as it relates to the program dealing with the Board of Ed or some other school traditional programs that it might spin over into? Is that conversation?
Did somebody give you my playbook?
Well, I've known you a couple of years, so.
Well, it's one of the things that Jerome and I are going to be talking about is exactly how to infuse this into a after-school program that will be supported by New York City, be supported by the Board of Education. But, like I said, we wanted to make sure our sustainable project is being in place first before we, take it to the next level. But, you exposed a part of the playbook already, Tony, and exactly, what we're looking to do with this project.
Well, again, knowing you and how you operate, I kind of figured that would be a case. I was at the event, Jerome, and there was a lot of people there, but you had mentioned something about Richard was your tutor at one point.
I am not going there right now, but I will say this. Tony. I will say this. As I approached you and said I wanted you to educate me on certain things, I'm always open to learning new things. And one of the things Richard is good at is, helping people and being forward thinking. So that's one of the things that I approached Richard about. And yes, he did help me with a few things.
Okay.
To give you a little briefing, you can also find out our information from my website. I mean, it's www.elespacederef.com.
Mm-hmm.
On our website, you can also find a link connected to Team Unity where you can leave donations, contributions if you want to be a part of that process to help out with our cause.
Mm-hmm.
And in all of our social media feeds, we do have Home to Harlem as well as Team Unity. So please, by all means, spread the word and make sure we all get connected and somehow or another help this cause, because the last thing we want to do is leave our youth behind and forget about the arts.
And Richard, I will ask you to make sure that Melissa has information so it can be posted on the Harlem Tourism Board site as one of the many features of Home to Harlem. But this one, especially once you start to formalize your process for the young people, maybe we can, send people there for applications or whatever in the future. Any plan? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Any plans for the fall or anything that you might, besides the opening in September, any events at Home to Harlem in connection with this program that you're looking to do to promote it?
You just want to get all in the playbook today, don't you, Tony?
Well, you can just say yes. I mean, I've been around you a lot, so I kind of know what questions to ask. But
the short answer is yes.
Okay.
We're looking to do a project that's going to connect a lot of the restaurants in Harlem and throughout New York City.
Okay.
And
don't let the cat out of the bag.
Right. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it at that because Tony wants to get all in your playbook.
I see that. Hey, Tony, let me tell you this though. For all the people out there who love jazz, next month, August, we're gonna do the jazz theme as far as our artwork is concerned on the walls. And I want you to know that we're gonna have a special on the opening night. I think we're gonna do it the second weekend, like we did this past month, July. We're
Right.
going to do the opening night in August. I think the second Saturday, because we're going to have a lot of jazz band there, and we're going to have a lot of jazz themed art on the walls. It's going to be very unique. We got 3 new artists already coming through, and I got Eddie Moeller pulling in some new work. So it's going to be rock and rolling as we continue to progress.
And again, one of the things that we can do with the tourism board, and Richard probably know what's coming, is to start looking at how, because the tourism board is going to
Tony, you stepped out for a second again, I see. But with that being said, we appreciate that. And anything you guys can do, we are very appreciative. Maria wasn't able to make it today, but she did mention that, to let you know, thank you very much. And that she did want to be on the loop, the circle for the tourism board, so people are aware
about.
of what we got going on at Home to Harlem at Las Dave.
Well, again, I think first of all, Maria, I've known her since she, started this thing in 1997. She was talking about websites and stuff like that, and people were scratching their heads wondering what she
She
was.
was the first Home to Harlem.
But for those who are listening, Home to Harlem, I mean, it's a wonderful 5-story townhouse with high 14-foot ceilings, gardens, and fireplaces. And it's a great place to have all kinds of different events, meetups. But it's art based on how the light hits, in certain ways, which I'm sure, Jerome, you saw that when you first saw that location. And it's a way to, I guess, it's a hidden jewel. A lot of times you'll walk past the building and not know what's inside. One of the reasons why, through this type of venue, we can let people know some of the things that tend not to be understood. And you guys, I know that you um, have schedules, but Jerome, is there any information that you would like to share as it relates to other things you're working on, or what you would like listeners to take back from this interview?
I think the most important thing, well, I know the most important thing is to understand that this is a unification between 3 different entities. We have Team Unity, we have Home to Harlem, and then you have Las Dave. I mean, we all connected within the community. We all connected with one another, and we are trying to evolve. And one of the things that's going to help us evolve is we can keep the community involved and get people to, understand where we're coming from and make a decision to help. You can even help by showing up. You can help by making donations to Team Unity. And the more the word gets out there, the better. I mean, every first Saturday or second Saturday, you can take a look at our social media, our website. We mentioned how we're going to have an art opening. That's every month we have an art opening, first or second Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the first Saturday, but next month I'm doing a special event, which is, of course, is going to be the jazz coming through, and we're going to do the jazz
Do
theme.
you have the date for that event?
It is, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be... It will be August 14th.
Okay.
And it starts at 1. The jazz band will be in there around 3 to about 6.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be nice. And of course, Team Unity, Richard will be there, and he'll give his spiel. He always gives a wonderful blessing on the day when he starts to speak about what we do, how we do it, and how we collaborate. And people need to get involved and help out so we can get these youth in here and help them and educate them.
Yeah.
With that being said, one of my other missions is to get artists in there on a regular basis to educate people on artwork and how to make it all flow. So these things are all part of the process. Maria's on board with all of what I just mentioned, and she's fully aware of Team Unity's actions and how we're working together. As I mentioned before, you can check us out at www.lespacedere, I know it's a lot.com. And the LESPECEDEREVE is also our social media, Instagram, Facebook as well as Twitter. We have YouTube channels. So if you didn't make one of our events, you can always look at our YouTube channels, and we have videos of our past opening days. So you can get a synopsis of what we do and how we function.
Well, again, interesting name, but one that I'm sure the people will begin to um, digest and process. Mr. Cox,
A place of dreams in English, sir. A
a place.
place
Right, it's a
of
place, right, a
dreams.
place of dreams.
I, I was just getting ready to. Mr. Cox, I
Yes,
know
sir.
that there's always something up your sleeve. Some of the stuff you don't want to tell until it happens. But is there anything that you can disclose as relates to coming this fall that you may be involved in?
Stay tuned, because you will get healthily over. You will eat in consumptions of food from all over the restaurants of Harlem. If you just stay tuned, Mr. Tony.
Well, you know,
Yeah, and that'll be the disclosure right there,
Yeah,
Tony.
you will have some new
Um,
tastes from different restaurants, sir.
well,
yeah,
one of the things that's, as far as Harlem Week, there's also, as you know, a restaurant event that's taking place. Matter of fact, the regular restaurant we've started already.
Yeah, yes.
But yes, Richard, I hope that whatever it is, basically with restaurants, in some way we tie that in with the Harlem Tourism Board because that would be helpful. And one of the things at the next phase of the show, I'm going to talk a little bit about Art War Travel, which is the new agency that I'm looking to use to take advantage of all of these different things so that eventually people are going to want to come back here. And people from here are going to want to go to other locations. And one of the great things that uh, we can do with ourselves is to help ourselves as it relates to where we spend our monies and the like. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But I thought that for the Harlem Tourism Board, one of the good fundraising partners would be developing tourism opportunities to come to places and the things that you guys are doing and using our media to promote that. But
May I just interject one time,
yeah,
Tony? I'm sorry.
sure.
So I think also I want the public to know, and I want to leave it on this. If we don't represent ourselves as a culture, nobody will. Everybody's worried about a Picasso or this or that, but at the end of the day, if you don't help us build a name, build the understanding of who our artists are, where they come from, your neighbors in your neighborhood, the next city over, and so on and so forth, these people will never be anything. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, investing in some art, you want art, you know, and if we continue to build the name, we build the brand for these people, and it also ultimately, and that's a good investment. Just like the Picasso pieces, Picasso wasn't nobody. He became somebody because people was like, you know what, his art is nice. We're gonna start buying his art. Now that he, moved on to the next realm of life, now they understand, like, wow, okay, so he's really a good artist. He was the best artist in his time,
Mhm.
and he created that around himself at that time, and now he's still they consider one of the best artists. We're trying to do that with our artists, our black artists, our neighbors, our neighborhood artists. So that's why we are giving a platform for people from Africa to Harlem, from Brooklyn, from Louisiana, from Jamaica to come here and have a place to show their work,
exactly.
their hard work, their dedication, something that they are involved in on a day-to-day basis. This is how they feed their family. This is how they take care of their responsibilities, and so on and so forth. So I just needed to put that out there because people need to take heed to that, because that's very important for us to understand. When we lose perspective of ourselves, then nobody will respect us.
Well, no one, I mean, we're the ones, you can't get upset when somebody else wants to do what you should be doing yourself about you. And which is why things like the Harlem Community News, Soul City TV, these types of media outlets that focus on us should be supported by us because if they're not, then we can't complain about how we can't get our word out. We can't get what we're doing out. I mean, guys like Richard Cox, who has done so much in this community. I mean, you know, but Richard would have to slap somebody and then he would be in the post. But based on all of the
Don't do it.
stuff,
Don't do it, Percy. Don't do it.
based on all of the stuff that he's doing, that's not there. But that, unfortunately, is how it goes. It's up to us, and you're absolutely right. Uh, that's why I have such respect for Matt McCoy. I mean, it's a struggle for him to keep up a network in this type of environment, but to keep it up in the way that it has been provides these types of opportunities. Or Pat Stevens, the publisher of the Harlem Community News, who, it's a struggle for us to help us, but way that we can do that, and even with the art, I mean, there. I wish I could have taken all of those pieces. There were some beautiful pieces up there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You know, and we have to, again, as you say, make our own experts, make our own heroes, and create our own legends, and that's what it's all about. But
that's why I partnered up with Richard, actually, to be frank with you, Tony, because that's one of my ways of giving back to the community. Aside from that, we give back to Africa every month, my wife and I. In addition to helping out with the Team Unity project, I just thought it was amazing. When Richard and I started talking, I thought that was the best thing I could do here on our own streets. So, I thought that we can educate the youth so we keep people involved in arts.
And so what you had mentioned giving back to Africa, can you talk just a little bit about that since we have a little bit more time now?
So in Africa, I've been relationship bonded with about 7 different artists, which you can find on our website. And every month we send about 20% of every revenue that comes in. Any artwork I sell, I make sure I send them something every month. I have everything to prove exactly what I'm saying. So if it's ever a question, let it be known that I do have records of everything that I do. I make sure I follow through with my responsibilities.
What part of Africa? Different parts or one location? Or
primarily right now we're in Togo.
No, it's Togo.
Yep.
It's interesting that based on my ancestry lookup, Togo is where most of my relatives are from, my ancestors. I wasn't that familiar with Togo until I realized that that's where I came from. So I figured I'd better look into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah. Togo.
So I go there once a year. I've been going there for the past 3 years.
Yeah. Togo, Senegal, and another.
Ghana. You have. You're talking about your lineage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Actually, my father's from Benin.
Okay. All right. And Richard, you travel all over
Kenya.
the place. Kenya.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time in Ghana, but I found out that my family's from Kenya.
So again, those are the things that are important to us, and I truly believe that as we start moving into this I'm woke period, the next real major connection is for us to start looking at developing relationships with our heritage in the countries. I had an interview with James Smalls a couple of weeks ago, and again, he brought up the fact of the need to start reconnecting, because a lot of what has happened was because there was a desire not to have us connect.
Now that's my tutor. That's my tutor, Professor Small. That's my tutor.
Well, James and I go back, and actually, you can see the interview on I think the tourism board or the Soul City Network Facebook page. But James and I went to City College together. We were, close. He's the one that introduced me to, actually, Von Sudema, all of those guys. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably sometime in September introduce Dr. Jeffries on the line, just to kind of make a record. One of the great things, even about what we're talking about now, and one of the great things about Soul City is that uh, I just wish I could have had the ability to record some of the things that have taken place over the years that now are lost because there was no way to record it, or the different things that happened, just like the new film out by Love, the Soul, which is on, I think,
Summer Soul.
Summer Soul. That was in the basement. That stuff was in the basement for all these years. It could have been thrown away. Fortunately, it was revived. It's up to us. The art, the things, the people. Like you guys. This is the second Harlem Renaissance. The beginning in 1974, Harlem Week. That was the theme, the beginning of the second Harlem Renaissance. So we're in the middle of it. So these are the things that are happening. But again, you
Is
guys.
there something coming up soon with a Harlem Week, from what I understand?
Yeah, again, you can go to harlemweek.com, but the first outdoor event is at Grant's Tomb, U.S. Memorial Park, on the 8th. And a lot of it will be virtual, but there are going to be 3 outdoor activities, traditional outdoor activities, even though they're not going to be quite as long as before. But the first one is August 8th, and then August the 14th, and August the 15th. That's on 135th Street.
And at Home to Harlem, because we're going to be doing something with one of our artists, one of our big artists, exclusive artists that Maria loves, Eddie Mola, who has a staged room with all his artwork and, decorum, and Home to Harlem on the second level. And he's going to be coming through because him and I are going to do a collaboration for Harlem Week. So stay tuned for that.
Right, which is great. Ademola has been part of that for, if you go to 125th Street, he did a Noro, it's not there anymore, I think, but always been a good fan. That's Ademola and Grace Williams.
Yes, yeah. We have her stuff at Home to Harlem upstairs as well on the second level.
Right, they both have their rooms there. These are artists that have been in the community for a very long period of time, and it was great for them to have that type of relationship where people can come in and see what's going on. But again, for those who are listening, Home to Harlem, 246 Malcolm X Boulevard. That's between 122nd and 123rd.
Let's pass the Dave. Try it, Tony.
Let's pasa de.
Hey.
Close enough. We'll take it.
Fair enough, Tony. Fair enough.
Let's pasa de. I have to get it straight. I was cooking when I went to Ibiza, man. I was starting to get the hang of it. But then again, that was in the evening, and everything sounded nice then.
Understandable.
But wonderful art, a
Thank
wonderful
you.
program, and
Thank you.
And for those who are involved, as far as tourism is concerned, because one of the great things about these programs, people see it from all over. If you're coming to Harlem, Home to Harlem is really a great place that you might want to stop in. There's so much information there. Or if you're looking to have an event, no matter, all kinds of things, filmings and baby showers.
Weddings, we do
parties,
weddings.
Yeah.
All kinds of things there. There's a big backyard, so it's a wonderful place. And plus, you're in so much art,
Correct.
and the energy is very strong. And hopefully, when the new Renaissance Hotel comes up in the first of the year, maybe we can try to get some art from some of our local artists. That would be a reasonable conversation, to have, because they want to be reflective of the community. So I'm just putting some food in there. I see Richard smiling. That means
Because that was already my playbook, Tony.
his mind is already there.
It was already in my playbook. I was
sometimes,
just waiting to. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
sometimes, when you're around people for a period of time, it's almost like the old uh, s- commu- comedy skits where somebody said, do you know? And the other person said, yeah. So, you don't have to, certain words you don't have to say because you know that the other person is thinking in a certain
Yeah.
way. But those are the things that uh, I'm sure will be helpful. And uh, I want to make sure that you guys again are recognized. And I believe I was waiting for our next guest, so I'm going to have to see whether I can bring her on. Now, you guys don't have to leave, but we're going to talk about tourism. You know, but
Yeah, I'm gonna cut out, but
Yeah,
before I
same
cut
here.
out, I just will remind everyone to, please connect with us. Send us a message through the social media, through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Send us a message through the websites. Jerome and I, we love to connect with people. We love to see, what people are thinking, and we just like to be engaged. And for those listeners who are out there who I have yet to meet, just send us a message through the social media or through the website, and Jerome and I will love to connect with you.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that, Tony, for 1 second.
sure.
Team Unity is a not-for-profit, so guys, please get involved. I mean, we need support, we need help. I mean, we all do.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, but we're talking about our youth right now.
that's right.
Richard does a lot for our community. That's why I love to partner up with him when he mentioned it to me. So I'm on board 100%. He's always at my events, and we talk about the same things to the people who come to our events. So I'm in support of it. With that being said, I want to thank you, Richard, for the opportunity. I want to thank Maria Granville with Home to Harlem. And Tony, of course, I want to thank you for the opportunity to sit here and have this conversation with you guys and go live the way we are right now. Thank you.
Well,
Right.
great.
Thank you.
And again, this will be up on. We'll post it on the Harlem Tourism Board Facebook page. If you want to go back to it or send some people back to it, they can see it there. Thank you both.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
um, I, I I I just got a text. I believe my next guest. I wasn't sure whether she was going to be able to get on, but as I had mentioned briefly, um, have a new business. There's so much stuff that's happening in Harlem, and will be happening in Harlem. And as being the president of the Harlem Tourism Board, there was a thought pattern. Actually, I have to give my cousin Pat Stevens the credit for it, who said, "Well, Tony, maybe you should start a tourism agency so that you can help people get here and help people go to other locations. We'll be developing sister city programs with many different cities. There's a lot of work that's happening in Tulsa that Matt McCoy is on top of the Black Wall Street event. There's a new hotel that's coming in, and we're starting to do a number of things in Africa. And Soul City, is going to be in a lot of households throughout the country, throughout the world. So I thought it would be a good idea to introduce a tourism program. So Patricia introduced me to a person who has been so helpful, so much so that I wanted to bring her on just to talk about the tourism industry and some of the things that are going on. Just for you to know, um, uh, the, the agency that uh, will be actually announced today, this will be the first time people will hear about Art War Tours and uh, artwartour.biz and Art Travel uh, .info. Those are two of the ways that people will be able to take advantage of all of the events that are taking place here. But I would like to bring on Victoria Falk, who has been waiting patiently, and I hope that she's able to get on. Victoria, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I had received the text that you weren't able to get on, which is why I prolonged it. And fortunately, I looked at my phone and saw that you were able to do that.
I've been struggling. I don't know how long I could be on, but it's a pleasure and honor. I was listening to the conversation. Awesome.
Uh-huh. So again, as I had mentioned when I got this bug, to well, maybe that's a good idea to become uh, part of this industry. One interesting thing, and I say this publicly, uh, it allows for you to travel. And now that my daughter is in college, my thought pattern is that wow, I can do some traveling. And as I started talking to Victoria, who's a wonderful coach, a person who's always, I don't know whether I really started bugging her yet, but there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of stuff, but there's also a lot of opportunities. So, Victoria, tell
Yes.
me a little bit about your business, and I wish I had, but well, we're going to have you back on anyway because we're going to
Okay.
a lot of stuff about your business
Right.
and the importance of, especially for people of color, to be in the tourism. Industry.
Yes. Definitely. And when we talk about business and money, ownership in the travel industry makes people powerful. There are a lot of white folks out there who are in the travel industry. And for us, Black and Brown people, we are the largest consumers. We purchase the trips, but we're not earning the income. Back in 2008, I learned that I can not only just travel, but make an income from it. I spent 17 years as a social work supervisor, and I learned the hard way that a vacation is not a luxury, it is a necessity. So, not only are we giving people a chance to enjoy lifestyle, but travel makes you smarter, makes you healthier, makes you more productive. So, with my business, I'm able to show people how they can do it too. You know, how awesome would it be if we took our people from the States and went to Ghana so we can reconnect with our brothers and sisters out there? I was able to do a business conference in South Africa a few years back. So, how awesome would it be if we could have people in our Harlem communities doing business with our brothers and sisters out in South Africa, out in Ghana?
Hmm.
How awesome would it be if we showed our families in Harlem how they can connect with family in Alabama, in Texas, in Miami, wherever, for cheaper for the holidays? I think coming from a social work background, it has me, using my travel business to help people, but I'm glad that it does because, like you said, the opportunities are endless. How many nonprofit organizations out there would love to know that there's money in travel for fundraisers, for churches, for nonprofit organizations? So travel has really opened up a whole new world. And we spoke about health and wellness, being able to have a wellness retreat in Barbados, Aruba, Bahamas, wherever. So I really enjoy showing people how you can wrap this around what you're already doing. You don't have to be a super travel specialist or have all these fancy knowledge on travel to be able to enjoy the benefits. But ownership, it definitely has its privileges. And right now, even though we have the pandemic, travel is an $8.3 trillion industry. And we need to get our share of that money, folks, because like I said, we're the biggest consumers. So thank you for this opportunity, and let's help folks get that money for themselves.
Well, Victoria, thank you for allowing for me to have a better understanding of it. I've been struggling with names and creating and studying and what have you, but I'm seeing so many opportunities, as you have mentioned,
Yes.
especially with the health and wellness tours and
Yes, yes.
uh, the uh, the other types of. I love the um, family reunions and family groups and allowing
Yes,
people to get back together. And
yes.
for those, again, there's Art War dot biz is you know I mean Artwork Tours dot biz. It's a new entity, so I have to kind of make sure that I have it right. So I have to look. Artwork Tours dot biz is one of the sites that's up now, and it's one that you can go to, look at, and kind of develop a way to book tours. But as you had mentioned, we need to help each other. We need to start to develop ways that we can work together in doing these things. And it
Yes.
also the idea of the business that it's a business that since a lot of people are looking for new things to do, having to pivot,
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
of people go online. Lot-
Yes.
and then you have people like Victoria. I don't know about anyone else, but if you have a Victoria in your life, it makes life a lot easier.
Oh,
Victoria, would you give people a way that they can reach you? How would they contact you if they needed?
yes. Folks, you can contact me and I will lead you back over to Tony Rogers and his awesome business because we will be at the Harlem Week, right? Giving
Yeah.
people this information and giving them a chance to sign up. So you can reach me at 1-800-890-7492. And when you reach out to me, let me know that you heard me here because there's enough travel money to go around that I can let Mr. Rogers earn the money for his business and I can cheer him on from the sidelines. Because when he does well, it makes me happy because I was able to get the message out that it is possible. And when we talk about profession, see, the thing is, I have a master's degree and I was a supervisor for 8 of the 17 years. And the reason why I share that is because I met a lot of people over the years that I would have loved to hire for jobs, but you couldn't hire them because they had to have specific education, they had to have specific requirements. Now, one of my mentors in the travel space has an eighth grade education, and she was a single mom sleeping in her car. And now she owns a resort in Costa Rica with those two children that she used to be homeless with. So that's why I love this opportunity because everybody starts in an even playing field. So, our brothers and sisters out there that are struggling and you're feeling discouraged, you're feeling like you can't do these different things, you can start travel and earn while you learn. So,
Well,
definitely.
and not only earn while you learn, obtain perks that are
Yes.
wonderful. I was able to uh, become motivated. I was already motivated, but when I was in the process of renting a car going away on a trip, and had a special site that I was told to go to get my agent discount, which I did, and the discount was there, which allowed for me to say, okay, this is uh, this is something that I should have been doing a long time ago. And
Yes.
again, for those who are out there, if you're looking to come to Harlem, or if you're looking to go other locations, or have fundraising for your church or for your organization, you should
Yes.
go to
Yes.
hardworktours.biz, and we'll see how we can work that out and help you to understand how to do those things and make money and have a good
Yes.
time at the same time. So you'll be
Exactly.
hearing a lot more about Artwork Tours dot biz and Artwork Travel dot info for some other things, and um, it'll be a part of some of the things that we're doing as relates to Harlem, which is the number between the number 3 location where people outside of the country want to come to. And sooner
Yes.
or later, we're going to open up, and we're already opening up. But when this stuff starts to really open up again, we should be in a position, to take advantage of it. And Victoria, thank you
Yes.
so much for coming on. I wish I had got you on earlier, but we're good. As I
It's
said,
all right. It's all right.
I'm going to have you on back. There's a lot more stuff that we need to talk about. There's a tremendous industry. I mean, um,
Yes.
the tourism industry, we're talking about trillions of dollars.
Yes, yes. I'm so excited for you because just in our conversation the other day, you know how many people already come from all over the world to be at Harlem Week. It's time for the man in Harlem to benefit, to profit from those people coming. So I'm excited to see, what sparks from this.
Well, again, you get by with the help of your friends. There's a lot of things that have Soul City TV, the Harlem Community News, WCR, Harlem Week, all of those types of things. Not only will I look to benefit from them, but the more important thing is to help other people benefit,
Yes,
to help other people find out how they can take advantage of what they already have and
exactly.
utilize it in order to get what they feel that they might need. So that's the whole idea of it. That's the whole idea of beginning to take advantage. I've been in the tourism business for Harlem Week is 47 years old. Uh,
Yeah.
it will be. So that's been 47 years. So this is a good way to begin to reap some of the benefits. I know that in the last, we were talking about all of the artists who became popular after they died, like Picasso and Rembrandt. I want to make sure I can smell the roses. I want to make sure that, you know, I take advantage of some of this stuff while
Exactly.
of it. So, Victoria, thank you so much. I'm thanking you in advance, and maybe even I should apologize in advance because I'm going to be on the phone with you, every time I run into something because I have somebody I can call to answer. So, I appreciate that. I like your motivation, and
Thank
together,
you.
I'm sure that we'll be able to do some great things. So, again,
Yes, definitely.
we'll be together. I'm glad to be able to introduce the Art War uh, travel and tour program here on Soul City TV, and we'll be hearing a lot more about it. So thank you again.
Thank
We'll,
you.
and we'll be back. The next 2 weeks will be shows dedicated to the Harlem Music Festival and Harlem Week. So there'll be special programming that will give you updates and information about what's going on during Harlem Week to the 14th. But there are a lot of different programs, a lot of virtual programs. So I'll be working with Marco Noble and a number of others to make sure that our programming here for the next 2 weeks will be a great uh, update. And for those who are listening, if you want to come to Harlem, please uh, go to Art War travel.info or artwartours.biz, and I would appreciate it again, and we'll make sure that there's some special things that you're able to take advantage of when you do that. Harlem Week is one of the great times to be in Harlem. All of Harlem is jumping at that time from the 8th to the 14th. But there's always something that's going on, so you don't have to take that as one time. There are many things. Give us a call, and we'll be in contact with you. And one last thing before I leave, artwardtravel@gmail.com. That's a website that you can send information to. Again, artwardtravel@gmail.com. And if you are interested in understanding this business, as I learn, I'll learn with you. Take care. See you next week. Thank you. Uh,
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Urbanology.